Daily Broadside, day 642. This past weekend, I went into a Cold Stone Creamery in order to get a smoothie. A friend and I, we stopped in there. There's a couple people ahead of me. I wait to get there. And it's like, the place is just open, whatever time they open. Like, there's nobody else in the place, right? We're one of the first customers. So we get up there, and I got I don't remember what I got. It doesn't matter. Like blueberry something smoothie. So the girl behind the counter comes back like a couple seconds later, and she's like, last night's team forgot to prep the ice, so I don't have any ice, so I'm going to have to make ice. So it's going to be a few minutes. We're both like, all right, no problem. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a Cold Stone Creamery. I don't know what the definition literally is of a creamery, but I would think that some form of solid water, i.e. ice, would be kind of a requisite to cream things and whatnot. But, you know, the fact that they sell ice cream, I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I know there's not like literal ice in ice cream, but I would think that a place like that would have ice. And, you know, maybe they don't sell fountain drinks. I guess they don't, because I'm looking around and I guess all they had was bottles, but I would think there'd be an ice maker or something in the back. So I watched the girl, and she's got this like machine on the counter that she pours water in, and I guess it just it's like a super freezer, and it like makes ice in just what was told to us a few minutes. And so we're sitting there waiting. So she makes my friends after like 10 minutes, and so now we're waiting on mine. And I guess there was enough ice in the blast freezer thing, the little countertop machine, that she could make hers, but not mine. So we get to waiting for mine, and I'm not kidding when I say, I looked at my watch and I'm like, have we been here for 25 minutes? You know, I didn't have anything to do, you know. But it was getting a little excessive. I was like, I could go find something to do. I mean, I don't want to be hanging out at the creamery all day, you know. Although it does sound cool, you know. Where you been? I've been hanging out at the creamery, but that's not what I wanted to tell people, nor is that what I wanted to do with my time on a Saturday. But I finally go up to the counter and I'm like, hey, how much longer is this going to be? I hate to be that guy, and she's like, I don't really know. And I'm like, okay, all right. I said, can we switch this to just swap it out? And I've already paid. Everything's already been paid for, which, I ain't blaming her. You know, maybe she doesn't have the power to do that. But if I am running a creamery and we don't have ice because the team the night before shift forgot to make ice, whatever that means, I would be like, hey, it's on me. You know what I mean? I'd just give it to him for free, especially if I had to wait 30 plus minutes, which we did. But nevertheless, we paid for everything. I was like, well, you win some, you lose some. And so I was like, can we just swap, you know, because she was like, I could make it now, but it would be really runny. Is that okay? And I'm like, no, I don't want a water smoothie. That's kind of gross. That's basically what she was saying. You know, I was like, part of the smoothie component that I enjoy is the fact that it's more of a thick beverage than just a liquid blueberry froth. But at any rate, she says, yeah, no problem. So she makes me a milkshake, and I'm gone in like 3 minutes. And I was like, man, if you'd have told me before this encounter, if you'd have said, true or false, the Cold Stone Creamery does not have ice without having to make it, you know, or something like that, I'd have been like, oh, it's totally false. It's an ice cream creamery place that makes things. I mean, it's got like the stone slab is frozen. You know, that's how they do their little smashing and dancing with all their stupid ingredients and whatnot. You know, I'd have lost that bet, because that doesn't make any damn sense at all, but it's true. In honor of the Kentucky Derby that just happened, this past weekend, I went to the Kentucky Derby about 8 years ago, something like that. And, man, I've never spent an entire day watching like 47 seconds of racing. It's the weirdest thing, man. It's not what you think. And people are so tacky, wearing the dumbest stuff. And I think I paid like $15 for a mint julep that was kind of weak. But anyway, I was looking up something about horses the other day because something struck my fancy. So I took to the research. And here's the thing, right? Like, this is apparently what but humans are so dumb because we have to overcomplicate everything. If a horse is walking, we call it a walk. But, you know, if the horse picks up speed, they're like, oh, we walk at 4 to 5 miles an hour, you know? Well, what if the horse walks a little faster? And we're like, well, what do you mean? You're like, well, what if it picks up the pace to go about 8 or 9 miles an hour? And you're like, oh, well, it's not really a walk anymore. I guess we'd have to name it. So what do you want to name it? You're like, well, I guess, how does a trot sound? Ooh, I like that. So they're trotting at 8 to 9 miles an hour. Yeah. And then it keeps going, and it's like, well, what if they pick up the pace to like 15, 17 miles an hour? It's not really a walk. It's not really a trot. It's got to be something bigger than that. They're not quite running yet, but they're obviously moving a lot faster. And like, what about a canter, you know, or a lope, you know, and all that? I'm like, yeah, I like that. That is much different, you know. But what do we call it if they're just running? Why don't we call it running? No. That's too human-like. Oh, how about a gallop, you know? Oh, a gallop. That sounds friendly, you know. And then there's a pace that goes with the gallop, and, you know, dude, I mean, humans got 3 phases. We're either standing damn still, we're walking, or we're running. We don't trot and pace and canter and gallop. And it's just, what do we do that for? Why? What is it necessary for us to have 19 different phases of a horse's movement in life? It just makes no sense. And that's what's the problem with, you know, people getting involved with everything. We put shoes on these damn horses, and they never asked for it, and we give them 11 different kinds of names for movement. It's just dumb, you know. And I'm in the market for another truck, so I'm starting to do my research and trying to find what I want and kind of narrow it down to what I really want. And I'm reading all these damn monads, which is like the bane of my existence, having to deal with people selling stuff that they think is worth way more than it is. But at any rate, I sold something today. Dude came to the house, fine, you know, gave me money, took it off, no problem. You know, it was a great transaction, but typically speaking, that's not how this happens. But the dude had his ad, and he was like, blah, 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 list all this stuff about it, and he's like, need to sell it soon, or have to sell it soon, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Or maybe it was will sell it soon, or something like that. And I'm like, or what? You gonna make me buy it? Like, it's so dumb. The way people, if you want to know how smart people are, just hand them a pen and say, hey, write me a want ad for this whatever, and I just want to see how you do it, you know. And then you'd read it, and you'd be like, you're a moron. You know, I mean, that's basically a great way to decide how smart or dumb someone is just read how they would sell something that they own. And you will instantly be like, oh, this dude's a moron, or this chick is a complete buffoon. It's a great litmus test, and I just made that up right now, but I guarantee you it's accurate. Y'all have a great day, Giddy.